Everybody, we're at the corner of Emerald and Milwaukee, and as you can see, the intersection is completely blocked off now, coming towards the Boise Town Square Mall, which heads in that direction down there. There are lots of police tape all over the place, blocking off lots of different exits and entrances into the area. But actually was trying, somebody's got a drone up there. I don't know if you can, right about there is a drone. I was over here in the Zupas under the tent, but Zupas has their music going and it's super loud, so I came out here in the rain instead. Luckily it's not too bad right now, but this is the road that you go down to get to the mall, and the mall is right down here on the left. So we are here in Boise, Idaho. Maybe I'll stand under the trees and get a little bit of protection from the rain here. And the mayor and police chief, Chief Lee, and Mayor McLean just gave a press briefing not long ago. We tried to make it down to that all the way out from Caldwell, but didn't quite make it there in time. We were actually there during the briefing, but we didn't want to slip in. We would have been walking behind the mayor. And according to their briefing, which did not yield a lot of new information necessarily, but 2 people have been killed and several others have been wounded in a shooting at the Boise Town Square Mall. There are no details really on the suspect. They did take an individual into custody who Chief Lee said they had a shootout with, and that's when the police officer was injured. So I'm going to try and answer some of these questions. Somebody said, can you tell us if it happened inside the mall or outside the mall? According to, so the police have not released that information. We want to try to stick to that. But according to several of the witnesses that I heard that had called into Nate Shellman's show on 670 KBOI, that it was, at least some of the shots were obviously fired inside the mall. But when they found a suspect, I should say, that individual was inside the vehicle, and they had found him based on the description that was given and had a shootout with that individual. The police officer was injured, and then the suspect was eventually taken into custody. Or a suspect was taken into custody. There's not been any confirmation on a lot of things that are out there. There's videos that you guys can see on social media, and we don't know, again, I've been inside the mall a number of times. The videos look like they're from inside the Boise Mall. There's several videos on Twitter where you can hear gunshots. Again, there's no, confirmation on those videos, but those videos do look like they're from inside the mall, and it sounds like approximately eight shots or so were fired. So one of the witnesses said they had seen one of the deceased individuals, and we don't want to say any more about what they saw, but just in case the families haven't been notified. But police have confirmed that there are 2 dead, and there are a number of other injuries, including 1 Boise police officer. So we are down, for those that don't know, this is off of Emerald, as you can see there, in Milwaukee. This is about as close as you can get, I guess, if you're in the media trying to make coverage. But you can see they've taped off a lot of businesses going this direction, and you can't really get much closer, obviously, because they're continuing to search the mall, collect evidence, do their investigation. Trying to see, was there more than 1 shooter? I don't know. There are people who said there was, but we have not. The Boise Police Department did not confirm that. The only thing that they've said is that there's no longer an active threat. So we do not know if there was more than 1 shooter or not at this time, based on what has been reported so far. So I'll kind of walk around here. You can see the police have one area kind of set up So for those that don't know, there was a shooting today in Boise, and a lot of businesses have closed down and been closed down, but you can see there's at least one Boise police staging area over here while they're conducting their investigation. And so a lot of businesses, they've said, in the area have closed down. So you can see quite a few police officers backside, I guess, of the, or was it the north side of the mall? So this is technically not one of the main entrances on this side, but anyway, so a lot of police in the area, obviously, and we tried to get down for the press briefing, but I'm cutting out. So if my audio is going bad, I apologize. It might be because I was walking. I typically don't walk with this particular microphone. Let's get back to where I was. All right, there we go. Should be moving a little bit less now. So for those just tuning in, there was a shooting in Boise today, sometime around 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And the Boise Police Department has blocked off a number of roads. Any road leading up to the mall itself has been blocked off. And you can't get, obviously anywhere near the mall as they are doing an investigation right now. Oh, that was a Boise PD drone because they just brought it down right over there by their vehicle. So at least 2 people dead. One witness says that it was a handgun. For those that were wondering about the gun, one witness says it was a handgun, but they didn't know what type or anything that it was. We haven't seen anything about the shooter or shooters, if there was more than one. As far as their description, the police said that, Chief Lee said that there was no motive that they knew of at this time, and just a lot of witnesses from inside the facility who talked about, hearing it, and then people running and screaming and, just trying to get out while they could. So, excuse me. So this is Milwaukee heading down that direction, and then Emerald, which comes into this area as well. Trying to see if you guys have any more questions. Don't see any more questions currently. Yeah, not seeing any more questions currently. If you guys have any questions, you can ask, but I mean, we're not going to put anything out that we don't have confirmation for. But this is, to my knowledge, the biggest, I guess, so to speak, shooting that we have had here in Idaho. No, nothing is really known about who passed away. They haven't released that. Age, we don't know. Somebody is saying that there was a woman shot in her car on Milwaukee. I don't know that either. If you guys know that, then you know that. The police have not put that out, and that's really the only thing we're trying to put out. We do know there was a car on Milwaukee that had a bullet hole in it. That's not that car that you see right there. But police have kind of shut down a lot of stuff in this area. Businesses are shut down. And then the Boise police have staged at least one spot over here by Dave & Buster's. You can see a kind of cluster of police right over in this area. And you got Target, Carl's Jr. down there. And then several media outlets, KTVB's over here, Channel 2's over here, and another one. They're an active search, not that I'm aware of. The last we had checked, they believe the threat is now done. Trying to see anything else. So now, if you're asking about is there a search going on, I believe they are still going through the mall, which obviously is huge and tons of businesses, and so they have to go through and search every store for any evidence or any people that they can find. You know, a lot of times in these types of shootings, there is a lot of people hiding, and they stay in hiding for quite a while. And so we had talked or listened to some of those witnesses on Nate Shellman's show on 670 KBY to hear where some of them were hiding. I have a family member who was actually at the mall about an hour before this happened, picking up somebody. And that somebody they picked up works at a store inside the mall, and so we kind of heard some stories there. But again, until we have confirmation of anything, we don't really want to put too much out. So, but the suspect was taken into custody. That's all that we know for sure that the police have put out, or a suspect was taken into custody. There were reports from some people that there was more than one shooter, but that is not known at this time. I don't think that fire truck had anything to do with anything else going on. Just for those wondering. It almost seemed like he turned it on to get through the traffic light. But anyway, so that's kind of all we've got from here, guys. If you guys have any other questions, we'll continue. So let me turn this around real quick. If you guys have any additional questions, we will try to keep, so there's an article pinned to the top of the page. We will try to keep that updated as new details come out. If there's confirmation on some of the stuff that we see on social media, we'll put that out as well and add that into the article. But we kind of don't want to put anything in there unless we can 100% know that it was from inside there. And so some of those videos and stuff we are trying to track down what we can. But it's just kind of I guess a crazy day here in Idaho. Something that doesn't happen often, and I think that's something that anytime one of these tragedies occurs, that's something that is often said. In a lot of communities, especially the smaller communities, that you just never think something like this will happen in a place like this. So with that, guys, I'm going to sign off for now. If you guys have any more questions, we'll try to answer those in the comments as we see them. They're kind of getting buried. We have a lot of people commenting on a number of the posts about this situation. If you're somebody that was inside the mall when it happened, if you want to shoot us a message on Facebook or an email to info@idahodispatch.com, we'd like to talk to you about what happened or what you experienced, and let us know if you've got a story to tell that needs to be told, or you just want to talk about it. We can talk off the record too. That's totally fine. And anyway, with that, I appreciate it, guys, and I'm going to sign off for now. For those that were just tuning in, we were at near the Boise Town Square Mall, near Emerald and Milwaukee, and where a shooting has taken place. The chief of police said that 2 people have died, several others were injured, and that's really the extent of the details that were given out at the press briefing. Not much more than that. A police officer was injured while exchanging gunfire with the suspect, who was in their car, and that suspect was taken into custody. So outside of that, very little information is still known definitively from the police. There's lots of rumors, lots of speculation, lots of people posting stuff online, but we can only give you what details the Boise police have given out. We want to stick to that as closely as possible, unless the mayor or somebody else puts something out. So with that, take care, guys. We'll talk to you soon.